illuminating white text appears that says, "A long time ago in a galaxy far, far away." Now, curvy golden yellow text stationary in the middle of the screen with stars flying by through hyperspace that reads, "Theory of a Blind Man." Golden yellow text begins to crawl from the bottom of the screen upwards. Episode 2, the live stream strikes back. After the separation of content uploads and live streams, this channel is dedicated to live streaming guests, gaming, proclivities and pondering of the fate of the galaxy. Darth Whistler reigns over these channels and his message will be heard with the help of many others presenting information for all to absorb. The text continues to crawl away from view deep into the infinity of space. For those of you willing to watch and listen to live streaming and participate in the chat, the live stream strikes back at a new upload channel with prizes and galactic credits to make you rebels come rich beyond your wildest dreams. But Darth Whistler is not satisfied until the triad of the Force has been completed, and so there lays another in wait deep in space and will soon be revealed. May the dark side of the Force be with you. As the last of the text disappears, we are left with stars flying by view in hyperspace, then fade to black.
Alrighty, good afternoon everybody. Welcome to Theory of a Blind Man. I am your host for this particular series called Steal the Show. That's right, Steal the Show. Kind of a new series. I've been interviewing people on this channel for a long time, as many of you already know. So I just decided to do a little bit of a reformat. I have some ideas for this show and where it's going to go. And in the beginning of each one of these shows, each guest will have 30 seconds to 60 seconds to basically do a self-promotional commercial that they can do with whatever they want. And then plus you can go to a new upload YouTube channel where you'll find all these in the Steal the Show playlist. And today joining us is Aaron from Aaron's Opinion. How's it going, sir?
It is going wonderful, fantastic. Could not be better. I want to take this time to say, Whistler, thank you for having me on your YouTube channel today. And from wherever in the galaxy you're watching this or listening to this, my name is Aaron Richmond, the host of the Aaron's Opinion podcast. On my podcast, I talk about critical issues in the blindness community, right? My academic background's in the field of international relations. And of course, I've been podcasting for about a year, speaking to blind people from all over the world about the challenges that they have to overcome. Let me tell you, just last night I was speaking to someone from Gambia, all the way in West Africa. I've even spoken to a retired prison guard. You name it, I probably have spoken to them. Right. If you want to appear on Aaron's Opinion as a guest, even sighted people can be on Aaron's Opinion. All you need to do, send me an email, aaronsopinion6@gmail.com. And Whistler, I'm sure, will put the links in the description for you to enjoy.
Yep, links are in the description for sure. And before you get way too far down the line of self-promotion, we're going to do that next. So again, I'll mute myself and you'll have 30 seconds to 60 seconds, anywhere about there, get out any information that you want. And let me stick you on the main screen now that I can do that. There we go. Now you're on main screen. And so whenever you'd like to get started, just you may begin.
Sure, thank you. This is Aaron's Opinion, Aaron Richmond from Aaron's Opinion. Basically, my podcast talks about critical issues in the blindness community. Maybe you're having a hard time at university. Maybe people are discriminating against you. Maybe you're getting a job. Maybe you want to talk about society. I love talking about philosophy on my show. Basically, anything that relates to blindness or you being successful in your life, that's something that I care about here at Aaron's Opinion. So really, wherever in the universe you're listening to this, if you're blind, if you're sighted, if you're maybe nervous about guesting on a podcast, well, come on over and talk to me. I'm a really nice podcaster. I'm a really great guy to talk to on podcasts. You can listen to Aaron's Opinion on Apple Podcasts, Spreaker, Spotify, Google Podcasts, iHeartRadio, Deezer, Castbox, Podcast Addict, Podchaser, many more, YouTube, Twitter, and don't forget, if you really like Aaron's Opinion, go ahead and become a patron on Patreon. I would love that. There you go.
Alrighty, thank you, man. I got one question.
Ask me.
Who the heck came up with Spreaker? That name is horrible.
I don't know.
It's got to be a combination of something. Spreaker? Speaker and... I don't know. It's just a weird name.
I don't know. I was so impressed with their product. Since I love their service, I try not to criticize their name.
Oh, so, yeah, that doesn't matter.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Welcome, Talented HV, in the chat. I'll actually be joining her later on in today's third show. So we'll talk to you then, Talented HV. Thanks for coming in. Much appreciated. So, Aaron's Opinion. This podcast you started how long ago?
A year ago. And I started it because I felt that there were just not enough strong podcasts for blind people around the world where you could just come up to a podcaster and say, hey, like a great guy like you, Whistler. Like, there just aren't enough people like me and you out there where you can just come up to someone and say, hey, can I come on your show today? There's just not enough of that, And I felt that there really needs to be strong and articulate podcasters about issues in the blindness community. And I love talking about it. My job when I'm not podcasting is I'm a teacher and I talk all day. I've always loved to be on the radio talking to people. And so because of that, I started my podcast a year ago. Mm-hmm.
Nice.
Yes.
What got you into the podcasting world? I know for me, it's like you said, being able to talk to people. I think that's the biggest thing. The more input that we have that we can share and learn from, the better off we are in the long run to be able to take those experiences and apply them to our own lives. So what kind of got you started into podcasting?
Well, by listening to other podcasts and not necessarily, and loving a lot of them, but also at the same time, finding things that I would do differently. Mm-hmm. Creating a podcast environment that's accessible and open and inviting. And that's what Aaron's Opinion is. So that's why I created it. And
right on.
Thank you. It actually started out as Aaron's show. And now today it's Aaron's Opinion. I felt that this year I needed a bit of a facelift for it, a bit of a renaissance. But now it's Aaron's Opinion, and that's a lot better because it gives people the opportunity to tell me what their opinions are. So that's really, that I think is really the niche and the beauty in that essence, I think.
Yeah, too. Also going from show to opinion, it's a little more clear that these are our opinions.
Right.
Take them or leave them. We're not saying, hey, this is how it is and you must obey us.
Absolutely not. And you at home, I'm really open to your opinion. I'm ready to listen to you. Even if I don't like your opinion, I still love hearing it on my podcast. Mm-hmm. I'm about as nice as it gets. I'm about as open as it gets. So if you're going through a really tough time and you need a serious podcaster who's going to give create an objective and entertaining and powerful episode, come to me. I'm ready to help.
Awesome. So again, you said it's on Apple Podcasts. I'm guessing Google Podcasts.
You got
Spreaker.
It. You got it. Oh, why do they call it Spreaker? I'm still wondering about that.
Me too.
And I love to joke around with people on my podcast. I love to play around and say funny things and toy with the English language. Yes, of course. Mm-hmm.
Yep. Actually, here's a good question. Talented asks, do you have a favorite topic that you discuss in your podcast?
Sure. Great question. My favorite topic is, Whistler, I really enjoyed you last week talking about philosophy, and we really scared ourselves there. That was starting to get a little scary. So some of those philosophical topics. Mm-hmm. I also like talking about topics about people's lives and the experiences that they have had. And I also like talking about current current events, right? Things that are happening right now in the world. But my favorite topic, any, is the best answer. Mm-hmm.
Do you have any topics that you like to shy away from? Shane, welcome to the chat, by the way, sir. See,
Yeah,
my way one
welcome.
is in the chat.
Any topics I like to shy away from?
Unlike the one that I brought up the last time.
No, I loved all of those topics. No, Whistler, I loved that.
No, the beer virus one. Remember, you're like, oh wait, no, we can't cut that out.
Okay, right. Yeah. So I guess if you're going to talk about
trolling,
overly sensitive political topics,
yeah,
that we shouldn't talk about at work, and a very, very, very few things. There's like literally only 2 things that I would absolutely say I refuse to talk about. But if it's not those 2 things, I'm going to talk about it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Okay. Welcome, Earth Magic 7. She says, hi, everybody. She is one of my members, and now that she's in here, I'll say, hey, you too can become a member of the channel by hitting that support Theory of a Blind Man button. So thank you very much, Earth Magic. Hi, Shane. See my way one. Hello, Earth Magic. Oh, okay. So see my way one. Shane was also on your podcast.
Really?
You don't remember your guests? Must have been a great conversation. Okay, so see my way one. He does the metal detecting.
Oh, I know who you are in the chat. I know you now. Yeah, we talked about metal, and you work. He works in a butcher company that produces meat for restaurants, and he produces a lot of videos on YouTube about metal detecting. And he produced a video called Pond, as I called it. I talked to him about finding his pond. Hey, Shane, how's it going, man? I remember you now. He was on my podcast. I didn't know. Yeah.
Yeah, Shane's been here for quite some time, hanging out in the chat. So
great.
He says, oh, so anyway, the rest that was, I was on Aaron's podcast. He was great, or it was great.
Thank you.
Yeah, it was great. Yeah, I had a blast last week. That was last week, right? Or the week before. But yeah, it was a blast to be able to just verbally vomit ideas and preponderances on other people. It's great. I love doing it. Make them scratch their head like, what did they... Now I got to think. I actually have to think. Oh my goodness. I love getting people to think. So what's your favorite topic to talk about?
I mean, favorite, I would say philosophy, current events, issues that are going on right now in the blindness community. Those would be, my favorite things.
What in the blindness community do you find a pressing matter right now?
There are several things. For one, I think it is wholly inappropriate, in my opinion, that we still have problems accessing public transportation such as Uber. And I find that our country really, really, really is behind as it relates to public transportation. And I feel that sometimes organizations that support blind people, although they are free to support the issues that are important to them, need to take a closer look at the most important issues, or issues that I feel are pressing, So I think that's something that really bothers me when advocacy organizations drift away from the most important issues. But again, right, it's a matter of opinion, right? What I consider to be important and what they do are 2 different things. And that is okay. That is fine. But I think it affects blind people a lot more than we're aware of. And I think that issue needs to be, fully addressed in the blindness community. Uber and unemployment and these serious issues.
Now, you mentioned Uber. What is so inaccessible about Uber?
Well, as you know, some of the drivers do not like to take blind passengers. And there's been a lot of discrimination when blind people try to take guide dogs into Uber, on Ubers.
Really?
Absolutely.
I've never had that problem.
Well, you're lucky. If you go to your state where you're living, you'll see that there was a lawsuit, a legal case involving an advocacy organization and Uber. And the advocacy organization won. But it's still a critical issue in the blindness community.
Interesting. I know I did actually have one issue one time in Nebraska. It wasn't Uber or Lyft. It was just a regular old cab. And the guy just, once he saw me and my guide dog, just took off. Didn't even stop. Say, nope, sorry, can't take you. Just boom, took off. Fortunately, I was at my
not
house.
acceptable.
Yeah, so I get that. I just didn't know it was such a problem with Uber.
Huge.
Huh. Are you completely blind? Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Oh, yeah. No, I was born. Okay. Let's see. I was born blind with glaucoma. And today I've had 7 corneal transplants and I have some usable vision. Mm-hmm.
Okay. And the rest of her question is, what do you have some vision? If you're, oh, talented, I could totally help you. Yeah, starting a podcast is super easy if you're just in the beginnings of it. There's so many blind and low vision people out there that have podcasts. The easiest way that I found so far is through anchor.fm. They're amazing, and you can actually get monetized before you even put your first episode up. So that's pretty cool. Hello, Aaron.
And Spreaker. Yes, go ahead.
I was going to say, Shane was following up with saying, hello, Aaron. Hope is all as well.
It is, Shane. Thank you. I appreciate that.
So Spreaker, what?
Spreaker's perfect. I love Spreaker because it allows you to be on YouTube and they do all the promotion. It's a whole platform where you can send out tweets, just one-click distribution. It's
nice.
Really powerful. Yeah, highly recommend it.
Cool. Mm-hmm. I think I got it. I think it's a combination between speaker and squeaker. Okay. No, that wouldn't explain the R. I don't know.
Why is that befuddling you? Why is that an issue
there are certain things in life that I like. I'm the ultimate truth seeker. I need facts behind pretty much everything, and I'll go to the lengths of the universe to get the facts behind something that I'm curious about. And now Spreaker is one of them. Thanks, Spreaker. Thanks, Spreaker.
Okay, well, what if I want to talk about the folds of the universe, or other issues that I think are more important than why Spreaker is Spreaker? I mean,
there's so many more important issues than why Spreaker got its name Spreaker.
Definitely.
Welcome, Blind Toes. How you doing, sir? Whistler and Aaron, you both have excellent podcast voices.
I appreciate that, guys. And everybody my whole life has been saying, Aaron, we got to put you on the radio, So for me, podcasting and YouTube, it is like being a journalist or being a broadcaster. This is something that makes me happy. I just love doing this every day. This is what I want to do. So thank you.
Me too. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I think I explained on your show how I really got into the whole radio thing, and it was kind of the same thing. At that moment, I didn't mind not having video, so audio was just great. It's like you couldn't put a visual face to the voice. And I always remember, for example, Wayne's World is a perfect example. If anybody's out there that's ever seen Wayne's World, there's a scene where they go into the radio station to do an interview, and the broadcaster's name handle is Handsome Dan. So they go in and they meet this guy, really handsome, good-looking gentleman, and so they start talking to him as if he was the broadcaster. But it turns out, no, he's just the voice that screams in the beginning of the show, and Handsome Dan is actually some old, wrinkly, crusty old guy. So that's why I was like, oh, I could do that.
Yeah, no, there's been, and I do talk differently a little bit. I mean, this is my normal voice, but I definitely make sure when I'm broadcasting to enunciate my syllables and make sure that you can understand me really, really, really clearly. Getting those syllables out the right way, being really firm with my voice and really open with my voice, and using the full range of my open voice. So you definitely have to have a voice for it, and it definitely takes practice. Knowing, okay, where do I start my breath? When do I stop my breath? How much voice? How much gas do I need to get through the sentence? It definitely takes practice, guys. Definitely, no question.
Yeah. Shane asks, what do you guys think about them sucking all the money out of SSI and SSDI?
Wait. So slow down, Shane. Slow down. What do I think of the money taking what and what?
What do we think of them, the proverbial they, taking all the money, sucking all the money out of SSI and SSDI?
As in Shane, or as in Shane is, I suppose, stating that the government is taking money out of SSI, SSDI? That?
Probably.
Okay. Well, I think two things. I think that this is precisely the philosophical example of, you have to rob Peter to pay Paul. you know? So, I mean, really, that's what it comes down to. I don't know this to be true for a fact. Shane, I believe you, but I don't know.
I haven't
Um,
heard anything like that.
but Whistler, he could be right. He could
Oh,
be
no
right.
doubt.
So I don't know. And it depends on the state. Maybe that's a state that affected Shane's state, wherever that is. I secretly know. I don't share that with people, but I secretly know where he is, what state he's from. And so maybe that has affected your state, Shane. I don't know. Hmm.
Yeah, he's out in Pennsylvania, so I'm not quite sure.
Yeah. Yeah.
No doubt was there. Spreaker is. That's one of the words too that I find myself having to stop before I just say it because I got to think. Spreaker, SPR, just doesn't make sense in my head. I don't know what it is.
What about, okay, what do you think about saying Aaron's opinion?
That flows nicely. Aaron's opinion.
Well, thank you. What about this sentence? What about become a patron on Aaron's opinion? What about that?
Yeah, that's basic. I mean, you're not going to say become a Patreon on Spreaker. See, I was going to say Squeaker on Spreaker. It doesn't flow right.
You are not.
Someone in the marketing department really dropped the
All right.
hammer on that one.
Oh, okay. Well, you know what? I will call the marketing department and I'll file a complaint in order so that the Galaxy can get reset. All right. All right. We'll
Something needs to be done.
contact the officials. All right.
Maybe the R comes from radio. Spreaker radio. Speaker radio. Squeaker radio. I don't know. Maybe Shane's got something there. I think. If anybody know, throw your guesses in the chat, everybody. Because I'm really
okay. I'm going to ask because you
curious.
guys have made me curious. I'm going to get the answer for all of you, and I'm going to put the answer in the chat later on. I'll
Okay.
send out the answer to all you people who are so concerned all over the galaxy.
I'm sorry. What was that? Something about the universe.
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Good. Yeah, I said I would certainly put the information in the chat for all of you who seem so concerned all over the galaxy. Yes. Mm-hmm.
And it's such a stupid, mundane concern too. I don't get it. Like I was saying, there's these little pet peeves here and there, like when people say height instead of height. Oh my gosh, that bothers me. That really bothers me. I don't know why.
You know what? You know what really bothers me is when people say organization instead of organisation. You know, because my second language is French, so I want everyone to speak French. So, like, why do they keep mispronouncing organisation?
Man, on my made for adult videos, I always speak in French.
Do you?
Oh yeah, I curse up like a sailor.
But is French your second language, like me?
Oh no, I don't know any French. I'm just saying, I curse like a Frenchman. You're like, oh, pardon my French.
Have
you ever heard that saying?
I have. That was a good one.
Yeah, Haley, I'll get with you. Actually, we can talk about that on the show tonight about that. So don't worry about that. I'm actually Googling Spreaker right now.
You're killing me.
Here we go. How did the podcast get its name? Oh, no, that's the wrong one. Never mind. I'm not going to go too deep into it right now because we got a show to do. I have Apple Podcast. Oh, got that one. Where's Magic? No, got that one. See my one. Yep, got that one. I remember Wayne's World 1 and 2 says Blind Toes. Great movies. Read that one. Hey, Blind Guy Show. Fellow Blindy. How you doing, Greg? How you doing? Actually, you would have a great conversation with the Blind Guy Show. I don't know if you know Greg, but...
Oh, you're saying I should... Well, Greg, if you have not... Since I have such a hard time remembering who people are, Greg, if you've not guested with me before, come on over. Come on over to my opinion, Aaron's Opinion. AaronsOpinion6@gmail.com. I'd be happy to talk to you, man. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he's got... Oh, see you later, Shane. Thanks for coming in, man. Appreciate it. Yeah,
Bye,
Blind
Shane.
Guy Show does a lot of... He's got a radio voice, too. So, he does a lot of good work on his channel.
Wonderful. There are so many wonderful broadcasters who are blind all over the world. It's really It's really inspirational. Mm-hmm.
Oh my God, Earth Magic, yes. Yeah, there's so many people out there, and especially with the current pandemic. This is another pet peeve of mine. People will say pandemic. Oh my goodness.
But you know what's even more of my pet peeve when people say pandemic? They always call it a global pandemic.
Oh, yeah. Isn't that kind of like not really an oxymoron, but like a double duh? A double Dutch duh. Thanks for that big bag of duh. Earth Magic says another word is escape instead of escape.
Yeah.
That one bugs me too.
Or the other one that adults get this wrong all the time, Pacific and specific.
Oh my God. I can't believe you brought that word up. I hate you.
I can.
Show's over, everybody.
I love
Yeah, specifically speaking about the specific time zone.
Right, but what if I just want to specifically speak about the specific ocean?
I know. It's horrible. I don't ever want to talk to you again.
See?
Yeah, Haley, when we do the third show on Thomas's, apparently Thomas is having me on, and he said that you were going to be there.
What?
Moist. I wonder why people have a problem with that.
That I'm not following. Oh, I love saying that word, moist. I love moist.
Why do people have a problem with that word? I don't get it.
I don't know. Other people do have a problem with moist. I love saying moist. Especially if you don't like me saying it, moist.
Moist.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. Let me know, Greg. What's wrong with the word moist? Greg has a great voice too, says Earth Magic. Indeed. Oh my God. Earth Magic's busting out all of them. Nuclear versus nuclear.
Yep, that's a famous one, and it's nuclear.
Thank you, Donald Trump.
Nuclear, not nuclear, not nuclear, but nuclear.
Nuclear.
Nuclear. Mm-hmm.
Message retracted. Montes. I agree. Greg has a smashing voice. Indeed. Man, it's already been a half hour. Oh Jesus. So what has been so you got a year under your belt, and do you always have a guest on every single one of your shows, or are you more of a free?
No. So now I only do guests. When it started out, I was doing monologues. Right. But I find that people around the world in other countries really enjoy the privilege of podcasting, the opportunity to come to me and talk about issues that are important to them. So, that's what I like to talk about, is helping, using Aaron's opinion to help one person. Because if I help one person, I helped a million. So that's how that works. Mm-hmm.
So in your neck of the woods, besides Uber, how is your public transportation?
Not existent.
Oh,
there
really?
isn't. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I don't understand why they couldn't make some kind of universal. I mean, that's why they might as well make each state its own nation, because everything is so different from state to state, at least legally speaking, and the way things are. Even within a state, you got county and city. And even those are completely different. It's crazy how ineffective and unproductive we are as a country.
Well, no, I mean, look, Whistler, I tell you, mate, I've been all over the world, and the United States really is the best. I'm not saying that we're perfect. We're far from it. I'm not saying that there's no problems. There's a million of them. But I am promising you this. As far as democracies go, we're definitely the worst one, apart from all the others that are definitely worse. So, in my heart, do I truly want to live in the United States? Not really, but it's not really, it's something that's completely out of my control,
Besides France, where else would you live?
Well, I don't know, a country where people can speak right and know the difference between Pacific and specific. So
speak right? What are you saying? Like they should be speaking English and that's it? What do you mean speak right?
They should know the difference. A country where everybody is taught the difference between Pacific and specific and knows the difference between the two. But apart from that, a country where everyone speaks French would be good, because French is my second language. Do you have any, is anyone from France here right now? And do you have any international listeners?
I do. They're just not in the chat. I've got several Canadians, several Australians, several um, English, UK. I got a couple from Ireland. I got, yeah, it's pretty much worldwide.
Good.
Yeah. So, being as traveled as you are, do you see a lot of the same type of ignorance that we experience on a day to day
Excellent.
basis?
No, I see far less of it overseas. I find that people overseas are far kinder to people with disabilities in general. But there's still weird people in ignorance. Sure, there is.
Oh, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
Yeah.
Blind Toes. Good. This is kind of funny because I don't know if you got to listen to my podcast with, or my interview with Aaron's Opinion podcast, but Blind Toes asks, "Hey, Aaron, what do you think of the blind bubble?"
I think people need to burst it, and blind people need to burst the blind bubble, and they need to get educated. They need to get into podcasting. They need to make money, and we just need to live productive and happy lives. And I know that we can. And if
Yeah,
you don't think
absolutely.
we can, come on over to my podcast, and I'll talk about it with you, and
Yeah.
I'll motivate you and encourage you, whoever you are. All right? Yeah. Great question.
It's I've been having this issue with several probably a couple dozen blind people in the YouTube community, at least, that thinks that when I ask for, which I rarely do, and everybody in my chat would know, I rarely ask for donations or subscriptions or even likes or members. I don't sell my channel as much as I should, seeing I get paid for doing YouTube. But on the other end, those couple dozen blind folk out there will make sure that everyone knows that I should be doing this for free. I should be giving away what I have to offer as far as like helping other people for free. And what they don't realize is I do. You don't
Yeah.
have to pay me anything. You can watch and
No.
listen all you want.
Yeah, go watch on YouTube. It doesn't.
Yeah.
You open the YouTube channel. Yeah.
On YT. Aaron's opinion on YT. Yes, he has a YouTube channel, and that's the link in the description box below. I speak Vietnamese, says Blind Toes. Well, that's cool.
Cool. Fine.
So we have a Vietnamese speaker in the chat. Oh, that's cool. Blind Toes, I don't know if you know, but he does a lot of the let's burn our bumhole with Carolina Reaper cheese ball competitions. It's crazy.
Oh, you were talking about that on a live stream. Some sort of a cheese ball. You eat too many, you get sick. Yeah,
Oh,
I lost
yeah.
track of when that was, but you did bring that up at some point along the way.
Yeah, they've been having this friendly competition where let's see how many we can eat, and they're like, I guess rated 200 times hotter than a jalapeno, for example. And I think Blind Toes ate like 36 of these cheese balls, and Nicole didn't have that many, and she ended up being sick all day long.
Right.
Crazy, you guys are crazy. So what do you got coming up for the future of Aaron's opinion?
Interviewing more people. I'm going to probably be talking to someone from Ghana. I'm going to be talking to someone who runs a coffee company. But really, I want new subscribers. I want new people to come up to me and say, "Hey, Aaron, I want to talk to you." I want new things, new people in the chat. That's really what I'm looking for. I'm always ready for a new person to come up.
Right. Where do you see your podcast or brand in like 5 or 10 years, or where do you want to see it go?
What I would really like to be able to do in my heart is I would like to get to a point where people do become patrons on Patreon, and then I promise that I will give some of that money to support like charities like Guiding Eyes for the Blind, from Yorktown Heights, New York, and to help other blind people. So that's all I want to do is just help you. So that's
Right
what I
on.
see my podcast, helping you.
I know this is kind of a loaded, vague, ambiguous question, but if you only had one path or one passion that you could really go after within the blind community, what would that advocacy be?
Probably about helping excuse me, guys, probably about helping blind people get jobs and be employed. Luckily, I'm a teacher, so I do have a job, but I find so many blind people out there just are not being employed right now, and it's no longer acceptable to me, at least.
Not in this day and age, for sure.
No,
There's no
no,
reason for it anymore.
no.
Yeah, the whole I think I told you about it, but we do a panel show on Friday nights called "We'll See for Work," and it discusses everything having to do with specifically blindness. I mean, specifically blindness, or blindness related in the employment field. Are
Right.
you being discriminated against? Are
Got
you
you.
being
Got
treated
so to
correctly?
be exactly to be pacific about it. If you could do that show earlier in your day, I would be more than happy to come on to that panel, guys. But 2200 New York. That's it's the time where I eat my cake and cookies and drink my scotch or coffee or whatever I'm having.
Yeah, I might be. I'm the only one on the West Coast that does that panel. So
Not my problem. Your clock isn't set right. Set it to my clock. My clock is perfect.
well, what I was gonna say, you jerk, is that I'm the only one on the West Coast, so I could move the time back so it's earlier for you old fogies on the East Coast.
Thank you. I would be more than happy to accommodate that. If it can be any earlier, an hour and a half to 2 hours earlier would be fine. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Earth Magic. Seriously, yeah. She says I never ask for anything.
And I mean,
Grace.
and I don't ask for things either on my channel, guys. But if someone comes and wants to be a supporter and wants to help me, I do want it to be known that your money will go to help other blind people, and it will go to real things that help the world. So that's a promise that I'm able to keep.
Yeah, for me, I don't promise that. This is strictly for the growth of my brand and channel, which happens to include my adaptive technology instruction tutorials, how-tos, or advocacy work. I mean, yeah, you're going to get that anyway, whether or not I get paid, because that's
Right.
what I enjoy doing most. But yeah, if I get paid for it, it's going right back into my studio. I don't have that level of support financially yet to be able to just like donate to a blind center or blind children or anything like that. I would love to, but that's just not in the books right now. I mean, if I got like 100 members, I would easily donate half of that for sure. Let's see. Blind Guy Show says, "How dare you make money from YouTube? Lol." After this, Aaron, you have a new subscriber for your YouTube channel. Well, there you go. You got a new one.
Thank you. I appreciate that. Who is that person?
Blind Toes.
Okay, excellent. And is that the person who's also on the radio who probably wants to guest with me?
That was
come on
a
over.
Blind
Well,
Guy
they-
Show.
Okay, well, Blind Toes might want to guest too. So come on over, Blind Toes.
Yeah, he would be good to have on. He's got a good voice too. He plays with nunchucks
Aha. Mm-hmm.
and eats Carolina Reaper cheese balls.
Less important. Right.
He says, "I always enjoy your Will See for Work shows and stay all the way through." Well, thank you, Blind Toes. I do enjoy that show a lot. Just be sure to eat dinner. I know, Earth Magic. That's exactly why I do it at 7:05 Pacific time, is because I like to eat dinner. And if I do a show during that time, I just won't eat dinner the rest of the night. It's unfortunate. Hey, speaking of the Canadians, In Darkness is here. Really good guy. He just dropped the link to your YouTube channel in the chat.
Thank you.
In Darkness is one of my loyal, been around forever on my channel. And he's always dropping links that are relative to the current show. So it's really cool. So any questions from the chat? Put them in the chat now. Oh, and In Darkness sub. So you got 2 new subscribers.
Oh, bingo. 2 new subs.
Oh, make that 3.
3. Come on, guys.
Earth Magic.
Look, you at home. Come on, double digit. Push it up.
What are you sitting at right now?
Where am I sitting?
Subscriber count or whatever you're going off of.
That's a secret. But I'm a beginner on YouTube. That's a
Okay.
secret. I don't want to make other people. I'll tell you off the air. I don't want to make other people think I'm some joke or something, because people are weird. People are weird about that. Mm-hmm.
You could present it as, do not. There's an option to not show your subscriber count, so you could have that on for a while until you really build up an audience.
Right. Mm-hmm.
And then people just think that, oh, this is a cool guy. Again, guys, any questions, put them in the chat. I've been getting your questions as they come across. Great participation today. Thank you guys all for being
really
here.
Good. Really good. And did you, in the description for everybody at home, do they have my email address?
I did not put the email in, but I can.
Or I can put. Am I going to be able to go back? Silly question. Am I going to be able to go back to your channel and rewatch this? Are you going to put it up on your channel? Okay. All right.
It'll be on Facebook, Periscope, and YouTube.
Right, but to be replayed, in other words, to watch the replay. All right, excellent. Mm-hmm. Yeah, guys, I'll take care of that. I'll comment below with my address. Where that's really the best way of contacting me is through email. You can send audio materials. You can send a voice note that way, or text either way. But really, email will always work. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Right on.
Yeah.
Do you have 200 and something videos? Asks Talented HV.
I could at this point. I don't know, but I could easily. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
She's probably just trying to verify if it's your channel or not. Well, Talented HV, you could actually search Aaron's Opinion, Blind Bubble, just those 4 words, and you'll find his channel, because that'll be my particular interview. Earth Magic says, I'd cook for you if I lived near you so you wouldn't skip dinner. That'd be nice.
What would you cook?
Are you asking me or Earth Magic?
Earth Magic.
That's a good question.
Yeah.
I guess that all depends if I'd accept her into my home. It better be a damn good dinner. Because I'm a pretty damn good cook myself. So.
Right.
Oh, there's Nicole. Nicole would be another great person for you to have on your show, too. She joins us all the time. Over. For Will Seat for Work. Yeah, Nicole, we're just having Aaron is it Richmond or Richardson or Richards?
Richmond.
Richmond. Okay. I used to live near Richmond. He's got a podcast called Aaron's Opinion, which he interviewed me last week, I believe it was. So go over and check it out. The link to his YouTube channel is in the description box. Plus, In Darkness has put it in the chat for you.
No, we're thankful for that. Yes. Mm-hmm.
Oh, I was just reading what she was saying. Hey, y'all. Sorry I'm late. Doing stuff for school. She's actually going to school to become a licensed or maybe certified dietitian.
All right.
Earth Magic says, looking forward to listening, Aaron.
Thank you. And Earth Magic, I'm looking forward to having you guest on my podcast. You're always welcome. All of you are, really.
This is a really good chat. And honestly, I haven't really seen a whole lot of hate, except the ones that say, you can't be charging for... F you guys. But for the most part, everyone's really good in the chat. Really nice, positive.
Yeah, this is a nice group, guys. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So that's about it. Do you have anything else you would like to add or promote about what your brand is all about or what you're doing in life?
I think I got, I got a YouTube new subscriber. Bingo, there it is. Just came up. Thank you so much. Thank you. I just saw you. Thank you so much, mate. Basically, thank you. So first of all, Whistler, thank you, my friend. I really enjoyed this. Really enjoyed this experience. This is a really fun way to promote a show and to have a good live podcast like this. Definitely action packed. Really enjoyed it. Basically, all I can say is, just come to my podcast, listen to what I have to say, and basically, I'll end it by saying, as I say on every podcast, have a good day today and a great day tomorrow.
I've got 2 final questions. And this will give people time in the chat, too, if they have any final questions. But my first final question is, if you could interview anyone who is dead, who would it be?
Who is dead?
And let's just say they were alive or whatever.
Well, those are 2 different things. I don't know. I would interview people from hundreds of years ago if given the chance.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't know. Mm-hmm.
I would interview Buddha.
Yeah. Yeah. That's a good answer.
Did you know that before he became quote unquote Buddha, he was quite the womanizer?
Didn't
Fascinating
know that.
story.
Didn't know it.
Yeah, he was a prince. He was supposed to be king, and then instead, um, I believe, don't quote me on this part, but I believe he almost killed his wife and child, and then left and traveled the countryside and went on his Buddha experience.
Good for him.
Yeah. So, the next question is today's day and age, alive, who would you interview?
Other YouTubers, other famous YouTubers. I don't want to name drop, but other famous blind YouTubers, wouldn't mind having them on my channel. I know they have a lot to do, as everybody does, but wouldn't mind interviewing them. Again, I don't want to name drop, but different famous podcasters, I don't know. There's a lot of characters in our world today. This world, as a YouTuber says, I forget who says it, but there is a YouTuber out there in the horror community who says, because this world is a strange one. And that's true. We have a very strange society today. So actually anyone would be good, because most people are pretty strange. So
do you know who Tommy Edison is?
Vaguely.
I got to interview him a couple years ago.
Who's that person? I should know, but
the Tommy Edison Experience, the blind movie critic.
All sounds just on the surface vaguely familiar, but not from. This is the thing. There are so many great YouTubers out there who are blind in the media community. It's so many of us. It's hard to keep us all straight.
Yeah. I made that comment the other day. Well, several times, but the fact that someone says, "Oh," and obviously it's usually from a sighted person, a sightling, I like to call them. Do you know so and so? They're blind too. I'm like, oh, well, yeah, he's my distant fourth cousin's sister's brother-in-law's dog. Of course, I know him.
So no, and to answer your question, no, I don't know. Apart from Whistler, I don't know any of the other. I don't know Whistler personally. I don't know any of the other famous YouTubers. He'll be fine. I know this. I've had this guy on my podcast. Did Illegally Sighted come in? Because you've talked to him a lot. But I don't know him I don't know the guy personally. I've never met him, but I know of him. Yeah.
Real good guy.
Yeah. He's cool. I've interviewed a blind athlete before.
Right on.
Tyler Marin. Yeah, he was an Olympian. He was in the Olympics. Had him on. But no, I don't know of any. I don't know personally any of the other famous YouTubers. If I did, it would be easier for me to have them on my show. You see.
I was really surprised. I just took a shot in the dark and I just emailed Tommy and he agreed. So that could be someone to try. He's got like over 2 million subs.
I see.
I just subscribed. Oh, there's another subscriber for you, Talented HV.
Well, thank you.
Let's see if there's any more. I would just cook it mine. Earth Magic says, oh, let me get words. There we go. I would ask him what he likes and choose from there. If he wouldn't let me in the house, I would just cook it mine. Hi, Nicole, says Earth Magic. Talented HV's channel link. Thank you in darkness. I heard... Wait, what? Nicole says, I heard that he was tired of having everything and he became homeless, which made him very humble. I don't know about that, Nicole, because he was not gone from YouTube that long. I was the last person to interview him before he gave up YouTube and then came back, what, a year and a half later? I don't know. I'll look into that and get back to you guys about that because I'm not quite sure about that.
And me neither. There's a lot of these theories on YouTube that turn out to not be true, and it's a very serious problem. So that's why if I don't know facts, I don't talk about it. So I mean, it's no problem, Nicole, but that could be true, and equally probably isn't true. Who knows? There's a lot of weird stories. So many of them. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Thanks for coming in, Earth Magic. There'll be a couple more shows today, so if you want to come by, appreciate it. She's going off to make herself some dinner. Ship me some. And that will be it, because we're just about at an hour. So you got 5 minutes to spit whatever you wish, Aaron.
All I want to say is just simply thank you. I had a great time. That's really all I have for you today. Mm-hmm.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Well, it's been great having you on. I appreciate you coming on, and
I appreciate you
working with you in the
me.
future.
Me too. You're always welcome. You're always welcome on my show, and so are all the great people here in this chat. So I want to see some activity. I want to see some requests. Aaron, can I come on your podcast? Yeah, you can. I definitely want to see that.
Right on. Again, thank you all in the chat for coming in. I'm going to try to remember everybody in Darkness, Earth Magic 7, Nicole Cotta, Blind Toes, Blind Guy Show, Seat My Way 1, Talented HV. I think I said Earth Magic. And of course, Nicole's here too. So thank you for being a member, Nicole. I appreciate it. So until next time, everybody, this has been Theory of Blind Man. Don't forget, love is blind. Keep it blind.